In the vast, indifferent silence between the stars, nothing truly survives, not in the way life clings to a fragile planet or a warm breath of air. Space, with its endless emptiness, is a realm of extremes where time and matter unravel, where even the smallest spark of existence must face a slow and certain erasure. It is a place that does not nurture life, it erases it. This is not a story of triumph, but a quiet meditation on the fragile thread of being, stretched thin across the infinite darkness. Here, the rules of existence shift and dissolve. The familiar comforts of warmth, gravity, atmosphere, all vanish, leaving a universe where nothing as we know it can endure. The vacuum of space is not merely empty. It is a void where atoms, the very building blocks of matter, drift alone, scarcely touching each other, unable to form the bonds that create the solidity we trust. Temperatures plunge toward absolute zero, a cold so profound that it stops the dance of atoms, freezing time itself. Radiation floods this barren realm, relentless and invisible, stripping away electrons and disrupting fragile molecular chains. Even light, a traveler that journeys across billions of years, loses its power to nourish here. It is a desolate cathedral of silence, lit only by the faint glow of distant galaxies and the dying embers of collapsed stars. In such a place, life finds no foothold. It is a truth whispered not in fear, but in the quiet awe of what cannot be. On Earth, life persists because the planet cradles a narrow sanctuary of conditions. The atmosphere shelters fragile creatures from cosmic rays. Oceans provide a stable cradle for chemistry to unfold, and the magnetic field deflects the harsh breath of the solar wind. Here, water flows, cells divide, and energy cycles in an unending dance that sustains the flicker of consciousness. But even this sanctuary is a fragile bubble against the vast cosmic tide. Beyond this fragile boundary lies a realm that dismantles the very essence of being. The moment a living thing steps beyond this protective veil, its molecules begin a slow, inevitable disintegration, like a castle of sand beneath a rising tide. Every spacecraft sent into this void must be shielded and sustained with life support systems that fight against the unrelenting forces that would unravel their human passengers. The vacuum can cause bodily fluids to boil, not because of heat but because of pressure. A cruel betrayal of physics that tears apart flesh without warning. Exposure to cosmic rays can mutate DNA, slowly corrupting the very blueprint of life. No organism, no matter how resilient, has yet evolved defenses against this silent predator that stalks the stars. The universe does not kill quickly but unravels slowly, like the fading of a song once it leaves the lips of the singer. The story of survival in space is not one of conquest but of defiance. When astronauts step beyond Earth's embrace, they enter a realm where the tiniest error can mean extinction. Each moment outside the protective bubble is a battle against entropy itself. In this cosmic wilderness, time loses its meaning. A moment can stretch to agony or collapse into sudden, unthinking oblivion. It is a reminder that life is not meant for this vast void. Our bodies, our minds, our very souls are woven for a world of warmth, air, and water. The universe is a silent judge, indifferent to our hopes or desires. Yet, even as space erases life, it speaks to something deeper, an echo of fragility and preciousness. Our existence, so brief and delicate, shines like a fragile candle against a cosmic night that would snuff it out without hesitation. This contrast, the burning flame of life against the eternal dark, is where meaning begins to gather. The harshness of space reveals the rarity of our home and the miracle of consciousness itself. To exist here, even for a fleeting moment, is an act of rebellion against a universe that otherwise reduces all things to dust and silence. There are places where this truth manifests in tragic clarity. The surface of Mars, barren and lifeless, with its thin atmosphere and biting cold, shows a world where life once might have flourished, but now only survives in memory and possibility. The icy moons orbiting distant giants hide oceans beneath frozen shells, places where life could exist, but only if it has found a way to protect itself from the crushing cold and endless radiation. Even these islands of hope are bordered by the crushing reality of space's cruelty. They remind us that survival is a balance between light and dark, between protection and exposure, between the known and the void. Black holes, those cosmic abyssal gates, are perhaps the universe's most haunting symbols of erasure. Their gravity pulls relentlessly, a force so extreme that even light cannot escape. To cross the event horizon is to vanish into an unknown destiny, where time and space twist beyond comprehension. Nothing that enters a black hole survives to tell the tale. It is a point where the universe swallows its own secrets. In that darkness, the story of matter, energy, and information reaches an end, or perhaps a transformation beyond all understanding. This is the ultimate frontier of non-survival, where even existence itself is questioned, reduced to a mystery that defies all law. And yet, within this cosmic truth, humanity finds its deepest reflection. Our brief lives, our fragile bodies, our fleeting thoughts are set against a universe that will outlast us by unimaginable eons. The stars we see are already ancient, their light a whisper from the past. We are made of stardust, birthed in explosions that reshape the cosmos. But that stardust is ephemeral, destined to return to the void. The universe does not owe us permanence. It offers only the chance to exist, to observe, to understand, and then to fade. This realization does not diminish life, but elevates it to something almost sacred, a precious rarity in an ocean of silence. This truth is not despair, but a call to wonder. To gaze into the night sky is to confront both our vulnerability and our extraordinary place in the cosmos. We are witnesses to the grandeur and the cruelty of existence. Each star, each planet, each whisper of cosmic dust carries within it a story of creation and inevitable decay. In this endless cycle, we find meaning not in permanence, but in the courage to live, to know, and to dream amid a universe that does not care. The fragility of life in space becomes a mirror reflecting our own inner fragility, our hopes, our fears, and our longing to be more than fleeting sparks. The cosmic void teaches a silent, profound lesson. Nothing survives forever, and everything is temporary. This is not just the story of space, but of time itself, of all things born, living, and dying under the unyielding laws of nature. It invites a humility that is both humbling and liberating. To accept that we are part of a vast, uncaring cosmos is to embrace the beauty of our brief existence, to cherish the warmth of a sunbeam, the breath of wind, the pulse of life that defies extinction for just a moment. It is to stand on the edge of the infinite and find in that emptiness a reason to live fully, to love fiercely, and to know that even though nothing can survive in space, we have survived here, against all odds, on a small blue world that shines like a fragile jewel in the infinite dark. Across the boundless ocean of the cosmos, where time itself folds into the endless night, there lies a silence so profound it seems to swallow all meaning. Here, beneath a tapestry of ancient stars and drifting galaxies, the universe stretches outward in every direction, vast, empty, and unknowable. It is a silence that feels both immense and intimate, a quiet so deep that it almost becomes a presence itself. In this darkness, light travels for millions, even billions of years, crossing distances so vast they escape human comprehension, only to vanish into the void without purpose or witness. The cosmos is a vast stage where light plays briefly before fading into oblivion, where matter and energy dance a slow, inexorable waltz toward entropy. It is here, in this eerie emptiness, that a question arises, subtle yet profound. How can anything survive in a universe so overwhelmingly hostile to existence? This is no ordinary question. It is a paradox that sits at the edge of understanding, a riddle wrapped in the fabric of spacetime itself. The cosmos, with all its stunning beauty and cosmic fireworks, offers no sanctuary. Stars are born in fiery bursts only to burn out and collapse into darkness. Entire civilizations of atoms, planets, moons, and the life they may hold are tossed like fragile flotsam in a sea of radiation and cold. Black holes lurk as dark sentinels, their gravity devouring all that crosses their threshold, erasing matter and information as if it never was. Even time, which carries the memory of everything, bends and warps near these singularities, leaving behind only mystery and silence. What kind of universe allows for such creation only to offer certain destruction? What meaning lies in the rise of complexity if all must eventually succumb to the void? In the farthest reaches, we find relics of ancient civilizations, not of flesh and bone, but of light and dust. Galaxies that burned bright and are now fading, their stars extinguished over epochs so long that their last echoes are barely more than whispers on the cosmic wind. These dead cities of stars stand as monuments to impermanence, haunting reminders that even the grandest structures cannot escape the slow decay written into the laws of physics. Between these spectral giants, dark matter holds sway, invisible and unknown, shaping the cosmos with a silent hand, a mysterious force that neither creates nor destroys, but guides the dance of galaxies with unseen gravity. This dark scaffolding of the universe is as enigmatic as it is vital, a riddle that deepens the cosmic loneliness. What is this unseen force that shapes the cosmos yet reveals nothing of itself? As light from distant quasars pierces the dark, it brings with it a story from billions of years ago, a snapshot of a universe still young, still forming, still full of potential. Yet, across those incomprehensible spans of time, that light is fading, stretched and weakened by the relentless expansion of space itself. Space is not static but grows, carrying galaxies apart, isolating each in a lonely island of stars. This cosmic stretching tears at the bonds that hold matter together, slowly driving the universe toward a future where galaxies become unreachable, stars grow cold and die, and the very atoms that make up life drift apart into oblivion. The cosmic horizon recedes, pulling away all hope of reunion or return, leaving isolated pockets of existence alone in the dark. What happens to life, to memory, to meaning in a universe that stretches itself so thin? The paradox of existence within this hostile vastness deepens when we consider the nature of life itself. Life is a delicate flame, a flicker born of chemistry and circumstance, clinging to a fragile balance of temperature, pressure, and energy flow. On planets like Earth, life blooms in dazzling diversity, yet it remains vulnerable to the cosmic storm, solar flares, asteroid impacts, gamma-ray bursts, and the slow decay of the planet's own systems. Beyond the protective bubble of a planet's atmosphere and magnetic field, life is exposed to a relentless assault. The vacuum of space itself tears at molecules, radiation mutates and destroys genetic codes, and the cold stillness halts the processes of metabolism and growth. There is no refuge here, only a slow unraveling of order into chaos. How then, in a universe that threatens to erase all it creates, does life arise at all? Is it an accident, a brief anomaly, or something more profound? A whisper of meaning against the cosmic silence? These questions lead us toward an unsettling realization. Space is not merely empty, it is an active agent of erasure. It is a place where survival is a struggle not just against scarcity, but against fundamental forces that dissolve matter, destroy information, and undo existence itself. Even the smallest particle of dust, the simplest molecule, cannot resist the slow and certain pull of entropy that governs all things. From the sizzling corona of stars to the frozen abyss between galaxies, the universe is a vast wasteland of destruction masked by fleeting moments of creation. This silent, relentless destruction unfolds on a scale and in a silence so complete that it mocks human notions of permanence and safety. What does it mean, then, to be alive in such a place? What is the nature of survival when the universe itself is the ultimate adversary? In the heart of this cosmic desolation lies another enigma: black holes. These regions of spacetime where gravity collapses matter into an infinitely dense point are both terrifying and mesmerizing. They consume without mercy, erasing all that crosses their event horizons. Yet, their existence also hints at mysteries beyond ordinary understanding. The breakdown of known physics, the intertwining of time and space, the possibility of other realms hidden behind the veil of gravity. Black holes are the universe's most profound silence, where information itself seems to vanish, leaving only questions about the nature of reality and existence. To stare into a black hole is to look into the abyss that may hold the end of everything, including time and memory. What secrets lie beyond that horizon, where survival becomes impossible and reality itself dissolves? Amid these vast and silent questions, the human mind reaches outward, attempting to grasp the infinite, to find meaning in the midst of cosmic indifference. The paradox of survival in space is mirrored in the paradox of consciousness, how something so fragile, so ephemeral, can arise in a universe so vast and inhospitable. Our existence, a brief flicker in the grand scheme, shines like a fragile beacon in the endless dark. The stars that formed us are long dead, their light reaching us across the abyss, reminding us of our place in a chain of creation and destruction. The knowledge that everything is temporary, that nothing can survive forever in this cosmic wilderness, is both terrifying and strangely beautiful. It asks us to reconsider what survival means, not merely the continuation of matter, but the persistence of meaning, memory, and wonder against the vast silence. And so, the cosmos remains a paradox of beauty and cruelty, of creation and destruction intertwined in an eternal dance. The deeper we look into the dark, the more we sense the universe's indifference, yet also the extraordinary rarity of life that dares to exist in this void. The great question lingers: if nothing can survive in space, if all is destined to fade, what then is the purpose of this flicker we call life? Is survival merely a defiance of entropy, a temporary hold against the inevitable? Or is there something more, some hidden truth buried in the silent depths of space and time? The answers remain elusive, shadows cast on the cosmic stage, and as the universe continues its slow unraveling, we are left to wonder, to feel the vastness, to hear the silence, and to be haunted by the eternal question that pulls us ever deeper into the unknown. In the infinite expanse beyond our fragile world, the universe whispers its secrets not with words but with light and shadow, with the quiet unraveling of stars and the silent drift of galaxies. As we turn our gaze outward, the first hints of the cosmic problem emerge in the life and death of stars themselves. Those blazing furnaces that seem so eternal yet are doomed to burn out. Every star begins in a cradle of dust and gas, collapsing under gravity's unyielding grip until nuclear fusion ignites a brilliant, fiery heart. This fusion, the alchemy of hydrogen into helium, powers the star for millions or billions of years, a cosmic heartbeat pulsing against the cold dark. But even the greatest stars are prisoners of time. Their brilliant lives end not in peace, but in violent collapse or fading decay. A star's death is a testament to the universe's relentless march toward entropy, a reminder that even the mightiest lights will extinguish, and from their ashes, new stars may be born, only to face the same fate. The death of stars is not merely an astronomical event. It is the first unraveling thread in the tapestry of survival in space. The supernova explosions that scatter stardust across the void are both a creation and destruction, seeding the cosmos with the elements necessary for planets, for life, but also casting out deadly radiation and shockwaves. This duality echoes the universe's cruel generosity, offering the building blocks of existence while destroying what came before. The very atoms in our bodies are the remnants of such cosmic cataclysms, born from the death throes of ancient stars. Yet, this gift of life is fleeting, for the cosmos that made us will inevitably reclaim us. It is a cycle without mercy, and it forces us to confront a quiet despair. Everything that exists is subject to the unyielding laws of decay and collapse. The deeper we peer into space, the more we uncover the paradox of time itself. Einstein's theory of relativity revealed that time is not a constant but a fluid dimension, stretched and warped by gravity and velocity. Near massive bodies like black holes, time slows, bending away from the steady beat we know on Earth. This phenomenon, time dilation, is a cosmic trickster warping the very fabric of experience. For an astronaut hovering near a black hole's edge, minutes might stretch into years for distant observers, a cruel separation of moments and memories. It is a reminder that the universe does not share our human sense of time's flow. It moves at its own pace, indifferent to the lives it touches. This bending of time raises profound questions. If the cosmos distorts time itself, how can anything truly survive its passage? What does it mean to exist when time fractures into endless multiplicities of experience? Entangled with this is the puzzle posed by the Fermi paradox, a haunting silence that echoes across the vastness. Our galaxy, with its billions of stars and countless planets, seems like a fertile garden for life to bloom, yet we find no sign of others. Where is everyone? This question haunts humanity because it forces us to reckon with our solitude. The absence of evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations suggests a universe less hospitable than we might hope, where survival beyond a certain fragile point is rare or impossible. Could it be that the forces erasing life are universal, relentless, eroding the chances for others to rise and endure? Or perhaps the vast distances and the expansion of space isolate civilizations into lonely islands, unreachable and unheard. This cosmic loneliness speaks to the fragility of survival in a universe designed for disappearance. The relentless pull of entropy lies at the heart of the mystery. Entropy is the measure of disorder, the universe's tendency toward chaos and decay. It governs everything from the tiniest atom to the largest galaxy. In the beginning, the cosmos was in a state of incredible order, with particles packed densely in a hot, dense fireball. Over billions of years, this order has unraveled, spreading energy thin and pushing matter into scattered, cooling structures. Stars burn fuel and die, galaxies drift apart, and even black holes slowly evaporate through a process known as Hawking radiation. The arrow of time is the arrow of decay. Everything moves inevitably toward disorder. For survival, this is a cruel truth. To persist is to fight a losing battle against the universe's deep hunger for entropy. Galaxies, too, tell their own story of isolation and decay. Once bound together by gravity, many galaxies are now speeding away from each other, carried by the expansion of space. This expansion accelerates, driven by a mysterious force called dark energy, pushing galaxies beyond reach, isolating each in a cosmic archipelago. Over unimaginable spans of time, stars within galaxies burn out, new ones fail to form, and the light of these islands grows dimmer and colder. Eventually, galaxies become islands of darkness, drifting alone in an ever-expanding sea of emptiness. This galactic isolation is a silence deeper than space itself, a slow suffocation of connection and communication. It is a vision of the universe's future where survival is not just biological but social and cosmic, requiring connection that space itself seeks to sever. Planetary formation offers another layer of complexity and contradiction. Planets arise from disks of dust and gas orbiting young stars, coalescing over millions of years into spheres capable of holding atmospheres, oceans, and sometimes life. Yet these worlds are fragile, exposed to their stars' whims and the chaos of cosmic bombardment. Planetary atmospheres are stripped by solar winds, climates shift and collapse, magnetic fields falter. Even the steady glow of a star can turn violent, sending bursts of radiation that scorch any fragile life below. The very conditions that allow life to begin are precarious and transient. This precariousness challenges human intuition, which tends to see planets and stars as stable, eternal stages for life's drama. Instead, survival here is a brief reprieve, a delicate balance that must be maintained against ceaseless cosmic forces. As these scientific discoveries unfold, the mystery deepens rather than resolves. Each fact, each theory, each observation pulls the mind into a quieter, darker place, a place where wonder is tinged with dread. The cosmos is not simply a backdrop for life, but an active participant in its creation and destruction, a realm where survival is a fleeting, improbable miracle. Human intuition, shaped by experience on a small, stable world, struggles to grasp the vast scales and forces at play. What seems eternal and permanent is, on the cosmic scale, fragile and fleeting. Our desire for permanence clashes with the universe's unyielding tendency toward change and decay. This tension between survival and entropy, between connection and isolation, drives the rising action of the cosmic story. It is a story that unfolds slowly, quietly in the depths of space and time, one that invites reflection on the nature of existence itself. If the universe is a place where nothing can truly survive forever, then what is the meaning of the brief flicker of life? How can anything claim significance in a cosmos that erases memory and matter with such relentless certainty? The answers are not found in haste or noise, but in the stillness between the stars, where light fades and questions multiply. Here, in this deepening mystery, survival becomes a question not just of biology or physics, but of meaning. It is a question whispered by the dying light of distant suns, carried on the expanding wind of space, and folded into the very fabric of reality. It challenges every assumption about permanence, about life, about what it means to endure. The universe does not grant easy answers. It offers only the slow unraveling of mysteries, the haunting beauty of things that cannot last, and the fragile hope that meaning can emerge from the vast, cold silence. And as the cosmic narrative unfolds, it draws all who listen into its quiet, terrible, and magnificent truth. In the vast, unyielding dark, the truth looms like a distant star collapsing into silence. The universe does not whisper promises of forever. It sings a dirge of endings. There is no hiding from this. The cosmic stage is empty, save for the fragile flicker of a single breath, and even that is borrowed. We are alone, not in some hopeful sense, but in the most absolute, staggering way. Every other spark, every other whisper of life has faded into the cold void. The galaxies grow silent. The stars wink out one by one. And we remain, brief, fragile, impossible. It is not that others never existed. Somewhere, long ago, others may have risen and fallen. Civilizations that reached toward the stars only to be swallowed by entropy's endless hunger. Worlds that bloomed and withered like a flower in a frost, their songs lost to the vast expanse. The silence that surrounds us is not empty. It is full of ghosts. The cosmos remembers, but it forgets faster than any mind can grasp. Time is a thief, a slow, patient eraser that wipes away memory, matter, and meaning until nothing remains but cold dust drifting in darkness. To be alone is not to be safe. It is to be vulnerable beyond imagining. There is no guardian in the night, no celestial hand to shield us from the crushing inevitability of oblivion. The universe watches without eyes, judges without mercy. It is a silent witness to the futility of resistance, to the delicate flame of life flickering against a storm that cannot be quelled. In this cosmic solitude, survival is not victory. It is a fragile defiance, a brief rebellion against the overwhelming silence. Time itself is the greatest predator. It stretches and bends, but never breaks. Every moment that passes is a step toward erasure, a march toward the quiet extinction of all that breathes and dreams. Our bodies, our histories, our very souls are transient shadows on a wall of infinite night. The stars that once burned with ancient fire will one day cease, leaving behind nothing but cold embers and empty space. Even black holes, the universe's darkest prisons, will fade into nothingness through the slow hiss of Hawking radiation, dissolving what once was into pure, featureless void. This is the terrifying beauty of existence. To shine at all is to risk darkness. To live is to be swallowed by silence. The cosmos is a vast, indifferent ocean, and we are ships adrift, our lights flickering against an endless night that will outlast us all. There is no rescue, no return to light once swallowed. Only the slow fading, the slow forgetting. The stars are not eternal. The universe is not kind. Yet in this abyss of inevitability, a strange clarity emerges. If we are the last, if we are alone, then the weight of meaning falls entirely upon us. The universe offers no grand design, no cosmic plan. It offers only the canvas of nothingness, vast and empty. We are the painters, the poets, the brief sparks that choose to burn with purpose. In the face of silence, our defiance becomes a form of creation. Every thought, every breath, every act of consciousness is a rebellion against the void. This defiance is fragile, but it is magnificent. To exist at all, to understand the vast loneliness of the cosmos, is a gift and a curse intertwined. It teaches us the price of meaning, the cost of light in a dark universe. Our lives, small and brief, ripple outward in the silent sea of stars, carrying the memory of what once was and what might be. Even as time threatens to erase us, we etch our presence onto the fabric of existence with wonder and fear, with love and loss. The haunting truth settles like a cold breath: we will not survive forever. But in our knowing, in our fragile awareness, we transcend the silence. To live with the knowledge of our impermanence is to touch something deeper than fear. It is to grasp the raw, trembling beauty of being. The universe is vast, cold, and indifferent, but within its depths, the spark of consciousness ignites a fragile, trembling light. It is a light that may one day fade, but while it burns, it defines the very meaning of survival. There is no promise beyond this moment, no assurance that what we build will endure beyond the slow crushing of time. But perhaps that is enough. Perhaps survival is not about permanence, but about courage. The courage to shine in the dark, to hold meaning against the void, and to embrace the silence not as an end, but as the quiet beginning of something we must create ourselves. In the stillness that follows, the universe waits. No sound breaks the endless night. The stars flicker, distant and dying, and the vast, empty spaces stretch on without end. We stand at the edge of eternity, the last fragile light flickering in the cold. Alone, watching, waiting, the silence is absolute, and yet in that silence the soul expands, crushed and infinite. Beneath the infinite canopy of stars, beneath the cold, indifferent gaze of the cosmos, lies a small, fragile world. A blue pearl suspended in the vast ocean of space and time. Earth, a delicate sphere of swirling clouds, roaring oceans, and endless deserts, holds within it the brief flicker of life. Here, beneath familiar skies, the cosmic truths converge with the intimate realities of flesh and breath. The vastness that once felt distant and unknowable suddenly presses close, filling every heartbeat with a weight and wonder that cannot be ignored. To understand the universe is to see this world anew not as a backdrop for life, but as a singular miracle, a rare refuge against the endless night. On this fragile globe, life begins in the smallest moments. A seed buried in dark soil, a child's first breath, the quiet unfolding of a leaf towards sunlight. These simple acts are the echo of cosmic creation, a whisper of order against chaos, a flicker of light against the dark. Yet each of these moments carries within it the fragile truth of existence, that life is fleeting, precarious, and endlessly precious. The child, so full of promise and unknown futures, holds within their eyes the silent question of survival. What will this world offer them? What chance do they have against the slow, inevitable tide of time that erodes stars and civilizations alike? Earth's beauty is matched only by its vulnerability. Its atmosphere, a thin veil of gases, protects the fragile dance of life from the harshness of space. Yet this shield is delicate. A single shift, whether from human hands or cosmic forces, can tip the balance, turning nurture into destruction. Volcanoes rage, storms swell, and the slow drift of continents reshapes the face of the planet over eons. The same forces that birthed life here can also erase it, leaving behind silence where once there was song. In this fragile world, survival is a daily act of balance, between growth and decay, between light and shadow, between hope and loss. The burning star above, so distant yet so essential, casts both warmth and warning. The sun's light fuels the cycles of life, the blooming of forests, the turning of seasons. But it is also a reminder of cosmic impermanence. One day, far beyond any human measure of time, that star will exhaust its fuel and transform into a dying ember, changing everything it touches. This truth places Earth's fleeting moments into a vast, unfolding story, one that stretches from the fiery birth of stars to their quiet death. It is a story written in fire and shadow, a cosmic narrative that reminds us that even the brightest lights must dim. Yet within this grand tragedy lies a profound call to responsibility. Knowing the fragility of life and the vastness of time's shadow does not demand despair. Instead, it invites a quiet courage, the courage to choose to act, to nurture what is fleeting and precious. We are small, yes, tiny sparks in the infinite dark. but even the smallest flame can hold back the night. In this fragile world, every choice matters. Every act of care, every moment of understanding, is a rebellion against the silence that seeks to swallow us whole. The child's eyes hold the future, not just a future of survival, but of meaning. In their gaze lies the promise that even in the face of cosmic indifference, life can create its own purpose. It is a purpose not written in the stars, but forged in the hearts of those who choose to live, to love, to remember. Each generation inherits this fragile world, carrying the burden and the blessing of existence. It is a responsibility that stretches beyond survival, reaching into the realm of what it means to be human. In the quiet moments, the seed pushing through soil, the gentle rustle of leaves, the slow turning of the earth beneath endless skies, we find a reflection of the universe itself. Life, in all its fragility, mirrors the cosmos, a delicate balance of order and chaos, light and darkness, beginnings and inevitable ends. This balance is not a cause for despair, but a source of wonder, a reminder that even in the face of vast silence, the act of being alive is a profound, beautiful defiance. Time remains the great teacher, the unyielding force that shapes all things. It teaches that nothing is permanent, that all must change and fade, but it also reveals the power of moments, of now, that flicker briefly before the next breath, the next heartbeat. In embracing the flow of time, we find freedom. The freedom to create meaning, to cherish connection, to build legacies that, while impermanent, ripple outward in ways unseen. This reflection brings a quiet hope, a hope not of escaping the cosmic truths, but of embracing them with open eyes and steady hearts. To live with full awareness of the universe's vastness and our fragility is to step into a new kind of strength. It is the strength to care fiercely, to protect gently, and to live fully in the face of the infinite. The vast, silent cosmos watches as Earth turns slowly beneath the stars. The seed breaks through the soil, reaching for light. The child breathes deeply, feeling the warmth of a world that, for now, endures. In these fragile acts, the universe finds its answer not in certainty or forever, but in the quiet courage to exist, to hope, and to choose what happens next. In the stillness beyond time, where stars grow dim and galaxies drift apart like forgotten dreams, there is a silence that speaks louder than light. It is the breath between worlds, the pause before nothingness unfolds its endless wings. Here in this fragile space, the cosmos whispers not with thunder or fire, but with a voice so faint it can only be heard by those who listen with the quiet of their own becoming. It is a voice that carries the weight of all that was, all that is, and all that will never be. This whisper does not rush to fill the void with answers or certainty. Instead, it lingers, delicate and profound, like the final note of a song sung beneath a fading star. It is a murmur that speaks of endings without sorrow, of beauty without permanence, of a vastness so deep it swallows meaning whole and yet, somehow, leaves a trace of something utterly fragile behind. In that trace lies a question, unspoken yet undeniable, hovering like a faint pulse beneath the fabric of reality. What does it mean to hold a momentary moment against the silence? To exist as a brief spark in a universe that forgets everything, where even the light of a million suns will one day fade into quiet. The cosmos offers no answer, only the space for wonder to unfold, for breath to be taken, for the last flicker to be seen before the darkness draws its curtain. And so the universe waits, not with malice or neglect, but with the tender indifference of time itself, watching as fragile lives thread their way through the cold expanse. The stars may fall, the galaxies may unravel, and the endless night may claim all, but in that fragile defiance, this whisper, the echo remains. It is neither hope nor despair, but something quieter, something sacred. The simple, raw truth that to be is to shine briefly against the dark, to listen for the faintest sound in the vastness, and in that listening, to find a presence that needs no words. What will you hold onto in the silence?